in some data of S&P 500. And we specifically looked into Apple. So I plotted the adjusted closing price of Apple. You can see here. So the momentum is basically like the trend. What is the trend? The trend is going up, trend is going down. So we're trying to exploit the trend. The strategy is like we take two simple moving average, and the simple moving average is calculated by this expression, and then we see the crossovers of the faster and slower. So those two moving averages are like one is a slower moving average, one is a faster moving average, the window. So the window size of the faster moving average is smaller than the window size of slower moving average. So here we have taken a faster moving average of window size 20 and a slower moving average of window size 50. And we have calculated the rolling mean, which gives us the moving average. And here are the moving average. And if we plot them, it looks like this. So whenever there is a crossover, that is the faster moving average is above the slower moving average, we consider that as a positive momentum signal, and we want to go long in that asset during that period. And whenever the faster moving average goes below the slower moving average, we want to go short. So that's a very simple momentum strategy. So we'll be coding that today. So okay, let's start with today's session. So everyone can see my presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So coding a trading strategy for live markets. Again, first of all, the disclaimer, this workshop is for educational purpose. None of the ideas discussed in this workshop should be taken as investment advice or trading advice, and speakers are not responsible for any loss incurred due to buying and selling of securities. So first, the overview of this is the overview of today's session. Then first of all, we'll see how live trading architecture looks like. Then we'll move on to saying how to use a trading API, then listening to market feeds. Then we'll see the implementation of the momentum strategy for live markets, how it's different from backtesting. Then finally, we'll see learn about logging, why logging is important. Okay, so the architecture, the live trading architecture looks something like this. Okay, so there is a broker. This is the broker's infrastructure. So brokers nowadays usually provide two types of APIs. One is for streaming live market data, and other is for placing orders and checking for positions and your accounts and rest of the stuff. So usually the first one is a streaming API. So it streams through something called a WebSocket. So what is a WebSocket? WebSocket is type of connection that is established between the server. So it's when the handshake is done, a full duplex connection is established, and the connection is done over a single channel of TCP. So after the handshake is done, there is no need to ping the server to get the data every time. Like whenever a new data is generated, it automatically sends the data through that connection and you receive it. So it's streaming. So WebSocket gives you streaming data. So whenever like event happens at the market, you get it directly. You don't need to ping the server. Whereas the order placement is, the API is a kind of REST API. So it provides like over HTTP. So whenever an order is generated, you like basically send the order details over the HTTP to the broker, and broker receives that and broker executes on that. So next, the live data comes in, and there are like feed handlers. Strategies should have some feed handlers. So feed handlers usually like takes data from multiple sources. So WebSocket doesn't necessarily stream only only single data of single asset. It will like multiple assets might be there. Like strategy might use multiple assets, take advantage of, like it's a multi-asset strategy. So it might be looking at stocks, it might be looking at ETFs and so on. So these feed handlers, each feed handlers are designed to listen to like such data feeds. So one feed handler might be listening to the trades, what are trades happening for Apple, and other feed handler might be listening to trades that happen for Bitcoin, and other feed handler might be listening to like trade happen for SPY. So SPY is a ETF that tracks S&P 500. Now these feeds are given to something called a feed manager. That feed manager takes those feeds and orders them, and it directs them to a database. It stores the database for like now the database can be used as a whatever is stored in the database can be used as historical data that can be used for backtesting by the trading strategy. And moreover, the live data is also feed into like the trading strategies. So trading strategy use that live data to calculate the signals, and whatever signals is generated are sent to something called order management system. So order management system receives those orders, so sorry receives those signals and converts them to orders, and like finds the optimal way to like execute those orders through the broker. So it sends those orders optimally like to the order placement API, and it gets executed by the broker API then. So this is the live trading architecture. So it's just a simple overview. It's more complex than this. Okay, now I want to show you like how to use a trading API listening to market feeds. For that, like I have to show you the code.
Just a quick question here.
Yeah.
And as a trader, I mean, we're not much concerned with the architecture. I mean, we select the security, and the broker would infrastructure would then route it through the respective API, right? It's just for understanding.
No. Whatever I have shown you, apart from the broker infrastructure, it should be done by the trader side. So it is expected that the trader does that on his own. There are certain like pre-made thing that are available on the market. You can buy those what is a template algorithms, and you can just input your instructions in this thing and do it. But it's always better to do it from scratch. So here I'll teach you like how to like build these things from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah. So trading API. Okay, I think this will be shared to you on the chat, the link to this. This is the notebook. Okay, so we'll be using the Alpaca Trade API again. So I think we don't need Plotly for this. Okay. Executing the first. I'm installing the Alpaca Trade API. By the way, yesterday I have told you guys like to go and create a paper account with Alpaca. It's a simple process. Then you can get this paper trading API key and API secret. Okay, let me also place the configuration. Fine. Okay, there's some issues. Okay, I might have changed the API key again. Let me check. Just a minute.
From time to time, there's an error message that comes up. Automatic saving failed. This file was updated remotely in another tab. What does that mean in Colab?
Sorry.
In Colab, sometimes the error message that comes up is automatic saving failed. The file was updated remotely in another tab. Show the difference.
There is that error is like thing. I also face that error sometime. That is related to collab, I think.
Okay.
But yeah. So now it's done. I have updated the API keys. You can go to this link and like check the documentation of the API. So the trading API. Here it's written. So by the way, I'll show you here. Okay, first of all, like how about like accessing the information of your account? So here, if I like log in to Alpaca, if I log into Alpaca, you will see these things, right? Like my equity, like this is a paper trading account, by the way, my equity and everything. Like here you can go and see paper positions. Nothing is there currently, but we'll fill this soon. Okay, so first of all, let's check if I can get our account information. Okay, so this is our account information, and we have seen that our equity was like $100,000. So yeah, $100,000 equity we have. So here, if you see our equity, last equity is $100,000. Yeah, current equity is 100,000. So we can see that. And if you want to see if our account is active or not, we can check the status, and status says it's active. Second thing is, if you want to see about like US market, if the US market is open or not, we can get something called a clock. So this REST API has something called a clock. We can get the clock and check is open. Is open gives true or false value, a boolean value. Then you can check if it's open and it will give true. Let's check if market is open. It is open. So yeah, market is open. Else it will give like how many, like till next, if you see this next open gives you like seconds, how many seconds are remaining till like the next market opens. So yeah, now placing an order. Okay, so you can use this REST. So I have defined the REST API as just like this is an object of this thing. So REST API, you can use the method called submit order. So submit order takes symbol, it takes quantity, it takes notional, site, type, and time in force. So symbol usually takes a ticker symbol of the security. Quantity is the number of shares. Notional is the notional value of the share. Suppose if you don't want quantity, like yesterday I have said about fractional shares, right? Since like US market allows you to trade fractional shares, like buy fractional shares at least. So like if you want to buy 1.5 shares of SPY at something like not necessarily $300, at something like I can buy that. So if I want to buy $500 of Apple, I can specifically mention I want to buy $500 of Apple. His side is like whether I want to buy or sell. So side is buy or sell. Type, what is your order type? Is it market limit, stop limit, whatever like your broker gives you? Those are the things like Alpaca, I think. Let me check what are the order types Alpaca gives. Yeah, it gives market, limit, stop limit, trailing stop. Mostly like market and limit are like important. Rest you can do it by your own, like you can code it in your algorithm. So why my okay, let's execute this and check if we can get like $500 worth of Apple. Like I have placed the order and this is the details I've got written. And let's go back to our and check orders close. It will be close mostly. So yeah, we have like recently I have placed this around this much quantity of Apple. So this is the order details. It's filled because it's like a paper account, so it will get filled. And now I can check my position. So it comes up in the position that I have a position in Apple, so around $500 of market value. So yeah, I've gained some PNL also. Next, we can also check the last trading price of a security using like latest trades, using latest trade. So latest trade, I have used SPY. SPY again is a ETF that tracks SP 500. So last trading price of SPY here is around $420.24. So next, if you want to place a limit order, as I have said previously, we need to mention a limit price. At that price, we'll get that thing. So, okay, maybe let's make it, since it's 420, let me make it 415. I want one share of SPY and it's a limit. Let's place that. Again, the details comes in. And if I check the order, it should be visible now in open orders. Yeah, it is visible in open orders. It's not filled yet. So it's still like pending. It's pending. Okay, now if I, instead of going to this thing and checking every time, if I want like programmatically check my orders that are open, I can use this thing, list orders, status open. It will give me list of all the orders that are open. So since there is one order open, it gives me list of only one element. So this SPY. So here, if I see, yeah, symbol is SPY, limit price is this much. Okay, now if I want to get the list of the positions, I can get list of the positions also. It'll give me, there is one position in Apple. So yeah, I have the list of Apple. We have unrealized PNLs, unrealized PNL here, and average entry and everything, like details are here. Now, if I want to close the position, suppose I want to close the position of Apple. Here, the position of Apple is open, right? I want to close the position of Apple. What I can do is uncomment this. And okay, let me view. It will also give me the order details of that order, whatever order. So yeah, it's the order details of that order. So yeah, it's vanished. So it is liquidated. If we go to positions closed, we will see like 2 orders of Apple. So it is sold, bought it and sold it. So filled. Yeah. Now, if you want to check what are the assets available with the broker, we can do this. We can check the list of the assets. So it will give me a bunch of assets. So Alpaca has lots of assets. So you can like check here. Let me scroll it to the top. Bunch of assets are here. So it will give me something like this, an asset class, censored this. Okay. So you can iterate over this list, take one asset object. These are asset objects, and like if you want to check like class of that asset, if it's like equity, then if you want to check like exchange at which is traded, like OTC, over the counter trades. Secondly, if you want to check symbol. Okay, this is good, but most of us, the problem we have is like want to check if a particular asset is traded at that like that broker allows to trade that particular asset or not. Like I want to check if Apple is available. Okay. Yeah, Apple is available. It's tradable. True. Okay. So asset is tradable. Okay, now let me see if some other asset is not tradable. Okay. Let me take some Indian stock, which is obviously not tradable in US. I hope there is nothing called SBI and ticker in US market. Yep, asset not found. So SBI doesn't exist, it's broker. Let me also check for SPX. Yeah, no SPX. Accessing the market data. So like REST API allows you to access the historical market data. Okay, so we have seen how to access account data, place trades. but it also used for like accessing historical market data. So if you want to get bar data for custom timeframes, you can do that. You can also get the tick data, what you call the tick data, like you can get codes and trades, historical codes and trades. So first of all, let's see the bars of SPY from like January 1st of this year to like yesterday. So you can get bars to get the bars of that. This is for equities only, like US markets. So here we have the bars. So open, high, low, close, trade count, view up, and here is the timestamp. So this is daily data. Okay. Now, what if you want to get data of multiple assets at the time? Like if you want to get, like, suppose Tesla, Microsoft, Goldman, JP Morgan, and say GameStop. So I can do that too, like using a list. So, but here you see the symbols are given. Okay, here you see like how it happens. Like it first gets the first stock. So Goldman is at the top, so it gets Goldman, all the like bars from January 1st to yesterday. Then at next block it comes all the like whatever it's next, maybe Microsoft, then whatever is next, maybe JP. So it gets that way. At last it's Tesla, but it's not like not looking good, right? Like now let's bring it to some like multi-level indexing using pandas, and now you can see like all of them are here. So whatever I have given here, all of them are here. This is for single date, so it is indexed by date, then all the ticker symbols in the date, then next date, all the ticker symbols in the date, and here, the data for that. So we have that here. If you want, you can plot this also. Let me plot this. Okay, I have to make. Oh, okay. Maybe I should select symbol.
The scale should be different for different securities.
Yeah, but things should come together, right? Maybe there is some. I should like everything starts like everything is above 0. So like you might see something.
The scale won't be proper because GM is in the 50s and Tesla is in 700. So
yeah, definitely that would be the problem. Yeah, so maybe if I can bring them the log scale. Okay, I will leave that. We'll check that later, the plotting thing. Let's look at trades data. So trades are like if you send a order from your system, like your terminal or whoever sends a trade, the trades gets executed at exchange. So executed, I means it gets matched with someone and it gets filled. That data is recorded at what price it gets filled. So that is trades data. So this is the trade data. It's tick data. So if you see the timestamp, it's on nanoseconds level. So data is like up to nanosecond level precision is there. So I have only limited to 100 because if I like, this is only one day. Okay, this is only one day. I have limited to 100. There are like thousands of data points generated for a day. So I have just limited to 100. If I like remove this limit, it would take long to like download this data and display it here. So you can see the exchange. Yeah.
Limit of 100 means 100 price points, right? 100 different timestamps.
Yeah, the latest 100 trades, the latest 100 trades from this.
Okay, at every tick.
From at this day, yeah.
It's tick data.
Yeah, it's tick data. Yeah, latest 100 ticks.
Okay.
Yeah. So here is the exchange at which this trade is executed. So if you want to see about what this codes means. I have attached a document here. So go to this document and you can check different exchanges are coded differently. So this is D means FINRA. So there is also K and P. So K is CBOE and P is NYSE ARCA. And there are different conditions. Similarly, you can go to this documentation and check what are these conditions. There is price and size of the trade. What is the price at which the trade happened and what is the size of the trade? And here you can see the ticker tape which this trade was recorded. And here is the trade ID. The second thing is codes. So codes are also equally important. So what are codes? Like I have talked about limit order. So whenever you send the limit order quoting something, that thing gets recorded as a code. So here only the best bid and ask are recorded specifically. The rest of the order book is not recorded. Only best bid and ask are recorded in the codes data. So we have ask price, ask size, and the exchange at which this happens. Bid and asks are like recorded, and bid price, bid size, and condition and tape. Similarly, like you can check these conditions and the tape, the exchanges, everything is there in the document. Okay, finally, there is also crypto data. You can also access crypto data. So if you want to get crypto bars, now I'm getting Bitcoin, 1 minute bars of Bitcoin from like, okay, this is too much. Let me change it. Okay, from the start of this month to today, yeah, till it, like whatever happens, like till this point of time, whatever bars is generated, 1 minute bars, I can retrieve that. You can also like uncomment this and get the codes and trades of cryptos. So for getting cryptos, bars, trades, and codes. So let's check for Bitcoin. It will take some time. It's a minute bar. So yeah, we have around this much minute bars. So 56,354. And yeah, here are the exchanges at which like these bars are generated. CBSE means Coinbase and FTX is FTX.
Just had a question on the exchanges here.
Yeah.
We have selected a security. In the previous cell, we selected SPY, and here it's Bitcoin. Say for an equity, the ticker price is coming from different exchanges where it is listed. So if I place a trade, would the system be intelligent enough to route it to the best price based on the exchange, or it is married to a particular exchange only?
It will give you the best price. So whatever you see here, right? The codes, trades, these are like best codes and best trades. Okay, like trades are obviously the best, but codes are the best codes. Like this is called NBBO, National Best Bid and Bid and Offer. Sorry.
I mean, the doubt comes from the limited knowledge of the Indian trading perspective. I mean, if you know the background, so you have either CDSL or NSDL in India, and you can only trade on NSE or BSE. So with the broker. Yeah. So I mean, this looks like an open book. I mean, you can just go and put a hand in whichever exchange based on the price. So the system allows purchase of a share of a security in say NYSE and sale of it in CBSE.
Oh no. Coinbase is like you cannot buy crypto in NYSE, and Coinbase you cannot buy equities. Coinbase is
just a hypothetical example.
Okay, let's say like Nasdaq and NYSE. Okay, so you buy something in NYSE and sold something in Nasdaq. Yeah, definitely that can happen.
That's possible.
If the tickers are, if the stocks are listed in both the exchanges, then it will happen.
Correct.
Usually, it is not that like whatever is listed in Nasdaq is not listed in NYSE. Yeah, some but most of the things are like there are some common listings between these exchanges. So yeah, that can happen.
I mean, that's a pure arbitrage.
Yeah, usually the arbitrage, like HFT firms arbitrage the opportunity. Whenever like opportunities arrive, they arbitrage away, and like the difference is almost like negligible from the trading point of view.
They just squeeze it and just milk it in. nanoseconds.
Yeah, it's just negligible. Okay, so we're done with the trading API. Now let's see how about listening to market feeds, live market feeds specifically. Okay, so you can go to the GitHub repo of the workshop, and on day 3, you find something called streaming data and placing orders. So you can open this. So I'll open it in my terminal. Okay. So this is the live streaming.py. So and everyone can see my screen, right? Like I have opened Atom editor. So you can see the code, right?
I cannot say Atom.
Okay. Just a minute. I think I need to stream, yeah, listing.
No, actually, the file is not in the folder.
File is there. You can check in the GitHub.
Yeah,
Okay, you can see, right?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay, fine. So like by now you know what's the configuration file. I use it like for maintaining the privacy of API key and API secret. So you can use it, like it will be used during like configuring the trading strategy also. So this is a good practice to maintain a configuration file. You can also use txt file. There is no like harm in using a txt file. Okay, so I have imported the Alpaca API. Please ignore this import like async IO. I'll explain about this later. Okay, I've got the API secret. So the trade API, I have used the trade API, and I've used something called stream. Like whatever I have initialized before, it was a REST API, and this is WebSocket. So I have initialized the WebSocket, and this is a stream API. So here I have made a list. Usually only one element is there in list, because I'll add elements like tickers further in this session. So just want to start with a single ticker. In crypto, I have put BTC USD. So the thing starts here. Stream API, you need to subscribe to like those symbols which you want to like listen the live feeds. You need to subscribe them, and then you need to direct those feeds to some sort of a listener, some sort of function that can listen to those feeds. So usually those functions need to be like asynchronous. So what do I mean asynchronous? It's like when you see a web page, there are web page with maybe images. It's not like that if one image is not loaded, the web page is stuck there. It happens that that image is still loading, the rest of the web page loads, and that image may not load at the end. Maybe some fault is there with that image that may not load at the end also. So the rest of the image, rest of the website loads on its own. So that's this asynchronous process. That is like if something is going on that is like taking long time, that is kept on the hold. Okay, the function says, okay, you take your time. Meanwhile, I'll give some, other process priority and let them go through. So, and whenever that thing is completed, okay, you come and go through the process. So that's what happens during asynchronous function. Whenever you mention a asynchronous function, so this functions takes a parameter. Whatever like the feed is coming, it takes the feed as the parameter, and you do something with that feed. Like here, I'm just printing the feed. So first of all, like we'll look at the trades. Okay, trades of BTC USD. Since crypto market is always open, I thought like showing BTC USD, but we'll also see like that the timing is good. The US market is open now, so we'll also see live feeds from some of the stocks as well, stocks and ETFs specifically. So let's look at the trades of crypto. Let me open the terminal. Okay, I need to say the in. And to run this. Take some time, and live data comes in. You see, the live data is rolling in. You can do whatever you want with this feeds. Like you can use it. You can send these things to a strategy directly. You have a function of a strategy. You send it directly to the strategy. So we'll see how to like utilize this feeds. So feeds are rolling in. I'll stop that. I'll interrupt that. Okay, feed is interrupted. Okay, you can also stream bars, minute bars. So you can do that by specifying bars and specifying a function where to stream the bars. So I'll comment this out. And let's look at the codes of equities. And let me add one or two more. SPY, and let me say Tesla. And let's say, maybe ExxonMobil. Okay. Python.
Is Twitter listed? We can see Twitter. I mean, there's a lot of activity going on. You can see the spike post Elon Musk announcement.
Okay. So what's the ticker symbol of Twitter?
Have to see. I'll check.
Yep. Let's add Twitter to this list. Is TWT rate?
TWTR.
Okay. Stream is not defined. Okay, it's not stream, it's stream API. Yeah, tweets are codes are rolling in. I see SPY. We'll find lots of activities with SPY. My terminal hanged. That's what I was worried. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. My terminal got hanged. Like
Okay.
it's rolling out too much data.
Probably you can just reduce the list of securities.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, let's check only Twitter. Let's see the in. Yeah, Twitter's data is rolling in. I'll stop it right now. Yep. So yeah, here are the live stream codes of Twitter. Okay, this is with streaming data. So is there any question till now? because next we'll be proceeding with looking at the strategy.
Yeah, actually it takes some time to get used to and independently work on it. But as long as this file is perfect, I think you can just run and see what each cell is doing and understand the code.
Yep. So we'll take 2 minutes break and we'll return. Okay. I'll take 2 minutes break. Okay. So everyone is here, right? Okay. Now we'll start looking at how to implement the momentum strategy for live markets. So first of all, I'll show you the configuration file. As I've said, like it's important. So this is the configuration file for the trading strategy. You can find this trading strategy on day 3. If you go to day 3, you'll find this folder, trading strategy. Under this, you'll find the configuration. So here you need to put your own API key and API secret. Then you can adjust the rest of this thing. Like here, I have allocated max budget of $1,000 to the strategy. And in universe, I have kept only a single stock to look out for. You can keep multiple, then multiple instances of this strategy will run in like the assets you have mentioned here. So if you mention BTC USD along with like Ethereum and Litecoin, then each like the strategy will run for Bitcoin. A separate a same instance of this strategy will run for Litecoin. Like 3 strategies will be run together. Like those 3, whatever the logic is, logic will look out for signals in all 3 of the securities. I mentioned an exchange, so exchange is FTX. So whatever data will pull from FTX. Then I have mentioned a faster moving and a slower moving average. So this is the window size. So 20 and 50. You can adjust this also, modify this. Okay, now let me share a different, let me share my terminal screen. Okay, the item screen, sorry. Yeah. So first of all, I have created something called a connection.py. This is a file which will create connection with the broker. So here I have made a class called client. So that initializes with the configuration file, like only the API key, API secret, and the base URL. If you want to transfer this thing to like live trading scenario where you want to like do it with live money, then you need to change the API key, API secret, and base URL in your configuration file, and this will automatically be traded in the live scenario, like real money scenario. So I have created two functions, one for the streaming API, that is the WebSocket, and one for the REST API. So this is the class, this file. Then I've created another file called strategy. This houses the strategy, the momentum strategy that we have discussed. So just to give you a recap, like it calculates the fast and slow moving average from the price series, and the strategy is slightly modified, like previously that I have told you, like if the faster moving average is above the slower moving average, then we go long, that's fine. But when the faster moving average goes below the slow moving average, then we, if you have a long signal, we close. If you don't have any like position, then we do nothing. So this is just long only strategy. We will not do sorting here. You can also do sorting, but I've kept it for just long only, just for simplicity. And our betting strategy is that we'll go 100% of the entire budget in that asset. So whatever budget we have, we'll go 100%. If we have like, okay, in trading strategy, I'll explain how the budget is split. Like if you have multiple assets, it is split equally among, if you have 3 assets, so then the $1,000 will be split equally, like will be divided by 3, and whatever is there will be divided among all those 3 assets, and that is the 100% for each of them. So we have a momentum class which initializes with the window size of faster and slower moving averages window size, and we also have something called a position to to keep the track of current position. Then we have a function called getMA, which takes the price array and it calculates the faster and slower moving averages. So it just will give you the latest value of the slow moving average and latest value of the fast moving average. So it just gives one float value. So 2 float values are output of this function. So you might have seen that I have used static typing in this algorithms, because static typing is usually good practice, like especially in scenarios of algorithmic trading, because then there's less chance of like dealing with the bugs and all and exceptions specifically. It gets easier to like spot those things if you do static typing. Next, we have a function to check for trades. We have the price array. So it takes the price array and it calculates the faster and slow moving average using this function getMA. Then it also prints the faster and slower moving averages value to the terminal screen as log. And if the position is none, that is it initializes none, and faster moving average is above the slower moving average, that is the long signal, then we create a long position. It returns like go long, just it returns long. And if like position is not none, it's long obviously, then and the faster moving average goes below slow moving average, then we return close. That means close whatever position you have for that asset. Now coming to the main like the crux of the trading system. So this is, the name is also trading system, the file name. So we start by importing some files. We start by importing the files, the classes that we have created in each of these files. Okay, we read the configuration file again, and whatever the parameters we have assigned for the strategy and the system, we assign here at the beginning. And we also assign something called a time frame. What is the time frame we're looking? Here we're looking at the minute level. So we'll do this strategy at 1 minute level. So every time, like after each minute, we'll check the price. Sorry, we'll check the moving averages and check if any trades is generated after every minute. So very frequent. Okay, now as I've said, the budget split. So budget split is done this way, like whatever the universe contains the stocks that we're looking for. So stocks are like securities that we're looking for. So like if you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin.
Just it out on the time frame.
Yeah.
You said there's a 1 minute time frame. So if it is checking for the signals, either buy or no action at every minute time.
Yeah, every minute. You're right.
Okay. Right. So once a buy signal is generated, then it commits the money. It commits to the trade.
Right.
Okay. And it now you're discussing the budget. So it puts the full amount, or how much amount does it put to the trade?
Okay, so that suppose you have only a single asset that you're looking for, like currently, like I'm in my configuration file, I only have BTC USD. So length of the universe is 1. So it will commit the entire budget, entire $1,000 to that trade. But if there are like 3 cryptos that are looking for, then length of the universe will be 3. So budget will be divided into 3 equal parts, and each of that part will be assigned, like 100% will be like assigned to long signals.
Okay,
as a
but
buy.
Then we can tweak the budgets as we.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. That's what, like if you see, everything is like modular here. So what do you mean by modular? I mean, like if you want to change something, like if you want to change something in the strategy, you go to just the strategy file and you tweak in the strategy. You don't need to like come here and check what will happen with the trading. Everything is independent. Everything is working independently. If you if on the broker end they change the API structure, you just need to change here. You don't need to touch this to file. So if you want to change something in the budget, you just create a function here, and how to calculate the budget, how will you assign the budget and thing. Just change it here and you assign the budget that way. So that's it. Okay, here we have something called logging. So logging is something that I'll discuss why it's important. So it uses this is like a built-in package that comes with Python logging. So it creates logs. So basically here I'm creating some error logs. So whatever warnings and errors we have, it's logged into this error.log file. So I'll talk about the importance of this. Okay, now I have initialized the client to establish the connection with the broker. So as soon as I initialize the client, it establishes the connection with the broker with the WebSocket and the REST API. Okay, now comes the system. This is the main trading system. So it starts with initializing the ticker. So it takes a single ticker. So it initializes the ticker symbol. Then it initializes the strategy, the momentum strategy, with the fast and the slow moving averages window length as a strategy, and it calls get history function. So get history, what it does is it collects like whatever the length of the slow moving average is. Suppose it's 50, it collects the latest 50 since the time frame is 1, latest 50 1-minute bars, and gets the close price, and it takes the values. Values means in pandas, if you take the values of a series, it gives a numpy array. So it's just an array of the closing price of last 50 1-minute closing price. So the self.price is that. And here I have used try and exception, because here I have used exception handling, because like there might be some error at the broker's end. Like since I'm doing these calls, wherever I'm doing API calls, you'll be seeing that I'll be doing the exception handling, because if there is some problem with the broker's end, I need to have a log of that, like what is the problem. So that's why to like listen to whatever is whatever is the issue. So I'm logging it. So, okay, now I have another function, close position. So I have shown you what is the close position in that notebook. So it closes the position. And basically get order will give you the order. This will return the order details. And if you put the order details to get order and you click status, you will get status. Basically the failed status, is it failed or not? So it returns the status of that order. And also here also I've done exception handling. Okay, check market open. This function checks if the market is open. This is the same code that I've seen in the notebook. Next, here I have a function for getting the dollar quantity. So if you have some budget, as I have said, I have suppose I have only one security. I have assigned $1,000, and okay, here I should divide it by 2, just the budget. Okay. Okay, so I get the latest trading price of that symbol, in this case BTC USD, and from that exchange. Then I divide the budget by that to get the quantity. So suppose it's $1,000 and BTC, suppose some other coin XYZ, suppose it's trading at like $100, then I'll get quantity as 10. But if it's larger, then I'll get quantity something small. Since BTC USD is like way higher than $1,000, then I'll get 0.0 or something I'll get. So that would be the quantity. So okay, I shouldn't do flow division also here. Okay, by the way, I have not used this. I have used a notional thing. So whatever the budget I have, I've entered the budget. So suppose $1,000. So I buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. So it automatically converts on the broker and how much it needs to be, the quantity. Okay, so coming to that, we have a simple, very simple order management system function. It is very, very simple. In reality, it is complex because it needs to handle multiple things, like looking at, usually this is market order, but usually to get the best price, people place limit orders, and when limit orders, it needs to handle partial fill and all those. So it gets complex. So to keep things simple, I just use a simple order management system where I've used only market order. So it takes only a single parameter side. If the side is long, and then it sends an order to buy the ticker, whatever ticker is assigned to the strategy. It buys that and it prints the order information, whatever order is done. Again, exception handling is done here also. But if the side is anything other than long, then it closes. Like anything other than long, I mean short, basically. So there is only two things that can be passed to this, either long or short. So it closes the position. And here I have some helper function called update price that updates whatever. Bars are coming in, latest live feeds are coming in. Whenever a latest bar comes in from the live feed, it pops out the very first value in that array of the price. So we have downloaded the array of price from here. So it's of length 50. So it pops out the first value and it inserts the latest value to the back of that array. And we have 50 price values again in that array. So this is what the update price function does. And then we have something called onBar function. So this is the function that like takes in the bar that comes from the live feed and does something with that helps the strategy to generate the signal. So it first of all, it updates the price with the closing price of the bar. Then second thing, it goes to the strategy function. So sorry, strategy object. So it is the momentum strategy. So from here, the momentum strategy, and it checks for trades. It passes the latest price array, updated price array, and checks for trade. And this function can either give you like a long, close, or none. So whenever none of these two happens, then it gives none. So if the signal is not none, then we pass the signal to OMS, and OMS does this thing. So I'm also printing something to like the terminal for logs. Okay, we have, okay, any doubts till now? Yeah.
Quick question on price and bars. Price is the feed coming from the broker. Bar is something we created from the price, or even bar is downloaded from the broker's API?
Bar is what we get from the broker end. So I have shown you the live streaming thing, right? The
Correct.
bar is an object that broker gives you.
What's the difference between price and bar?
Which price and bar? Like this price, you mean?
Yes. Self.price.
Yeah. That is like this is an array. Like I have down this gives you historical data. So whatever the last 50 latest bars I have, I've downloaded them. Okay. Think of that, like last 50 latest bars, I've downloaded them. I've converted those prices, the closing prices, to an array, and I have put it in the self.price. Okay.
Okay, so just a confusion in the terminology. Yeah. So bar is actually the price as we think.
Bar is whatever the streaming price I'm getting.
Streaming price, correct. Yeah. Okay.
Get instance. So this function creates instances. So as I've said, like now you have a single asset to look for, like to monitor, that is BTC USD. But if you have multiple, like this strategy is scalable for multiple assets. So you have suppose 4 or 5 assets, then this get instance will create instance of this class for each of this asset in the universe. So it iterates through the universe, gets the ticker, and basically it creates an instance of this class and uses puts it as a key in the dictionary corresponding to the ticker. So, and after that it returns the instances, all the instances. Get PNL is a function that uses get account, and from get account it gives you the PNL of your account. So every time like your account PNL changes, this gives you the updated PNL value of your account. Okay, now the main execution part of the strategy or the system. So again, try
was the PNL calculated as a function by us, or it's downloaded from the broker?
This is what we get from broker, like from your account, whatever the
Okay.
So it's current equity minus the last equity. So if your current equity is higher than last equity, then PNL is positive. Okay, so again, printing something to the terminal, like starting the momentum algorithm. Then I've created the instances. Then again, this is the handler function that you have seen during the live streaming thing. So it is an asynchronous function. So we subscribe to whatever there in the universe. So whatever assets, those needs to be unique. So unique assets in the universe. So we subscribe to bars, and we pass each of that's like streaming bars to this function on bar. And on bar, what it does, when the bar comes and the data is from a particular exchange, in this case FTX. So I mentioned in a configuration file that exchange should be FTX. Then it passes that bar, whatever symbol of that bar is, it passes that bar to that symbol. Like if it's from BTC USD, then it passes that bar to the BTC USD instance. And then it calculates the PNL every time, like whenever the bar comes in, it calculates the PNL. And at the end, we have some exception handling, that is like whenever you're like I'm interrupting this thing, this algorithm, like it keeps on running, right? It won't stop like until there is some sort of interruption. Whenever there is keyboard interruption or runtime error, it's like a fail-safe thing, like it closes all the positions in that account. So this is that. Okay, so till now, any questions, any doubts? If not, then we can run this live now and see how it works.
So basically, this is a single file that we need to execute to do the live trading.
Yeah,
So
we need to execute only this file because this file uses the other two files.
It is integrated with the backend workings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then let's cd in to the trading strategy thing, and I'm gonna execute the trading system. So it says initializing the strategy, listening to the feeds as I've printed this thing, listening to feeds from, and as soon as like a minute bar is generated, this will start printing. So let's wait for a minute and check. We have error logs. You can check error log is empty now. So basically the strategy is running, and whenever like there is an opportunity, it will create a like position. Let's go here. Okay, so let the strategy run. Till then, like if you have any doubt, you can ask.
So, I mean, just was trying to see yesterday's assignment.
Yeah.
Just don't want any direct takeaways from it. But if we have to see against the benchmark, we then consider the benchmark as a second security. So we just embed the ticker price in the list, right?
Benchmark is like whatever you want to compare a strategy to. Basically, people take it as the market. So people want to know, like, is my strategy better than the market? So that is the thing, like people want to know. Usually what happens, like some strategy performs well worse than the market. So it's not good to invest in the strategy rather than the market. It's better that I invest in the market rather than that strategy. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So to compare against the benchmark, I think today's files gave some understanding of it. Yesterday's file was a single file, single security. So we just add the benchmark ticker to the list of prices or the bars, correct?
Right.
Okay.
So it'd be good if I could show you like this thing working, like placing trades. But yeah, if I keep it running for some time, maybe it would place. Maybe Bitcoin is not favorable right now for this thing, like generating trades. It's not generating. Yeah, when the strategy condition is met, then yeah, it will generate trades, of course. There is some issue, I guess. Let me check. Are the bars generated? First of all. Okay. Oh. I doubt that there is some issue. Let me check.
If this is not asking for too much, I mean, as newbies, we don't know once the code is executed if it is running or not. It'll be nice if the chart is generated as an output and it is printed and we can see the chart is moving, so prices are being downloaded. Some candlestick chart or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Like if it's running or not, that's why like I would come to the importance of logging. So I have made some logs here, right? Like generating whatever the slow moving average and fast moving average. This is like a quick and dirty way of like knowing if the strategy is working as intended. Since it's not outputting this, I highly doubt that it's even passing through this, like going to this, or else I might doubt that like from FTX the data is not coming, maybe. So let me check, like whatever the bars is generating, it may not be from FTX. Maybe something wrong with my configuration file. So let me check this real quick. That might be the issue, because whatever I've tried with Coinbase. So let me check what bars are available. Like it's minute bar, so it's like a minute. It is there like FTXU. Okay, I might have made some mistake during making the configuration. It is now it's working. Yeah, some reason. There might be error with some like streaming or something. Maybe that, like, did you see this, like this log? Like here I have printed the bar, so it's a mess, but you can see like slow moving average and fast moving average. And here is the order generated, like go long in the BTC. There is a long signal and the order is filled, like the order data is here. I'll exit this, I'll interrupt this, and let's check. You can obviously like go to broker screen and check for now, like also monitoring tomorrow. So
in this code, we're not putting any prompt to say that the trade is successfully executed.
you can say that, like as I've shown you, right, previously, using brokers API, you can check for the position. If the position is created, like the field status, here I have written field status, right? Somewhere, yeah, here after closing, like you can do something similar for that in order management system. You can take this order info, put into like get order status, then you can check the status, and you can put the prompt that okay, the trade is successfully executed. Okay, let me show you it again. Okay, everything is fine. That time, like maybe there are some issues with streaming to the WebSocket.
Or you can reduce the time window to 30 seconds or 15 seconds.
Yeah, we could do that, but I wanted to show this in per minute bars. If I want to go below that, then like I have to go with trades, like listening to trades. Like broker API doesn't, sorry, trading API doesn't provide that. Yeah, see here. From here, okay. So okay, I have executed here. Okay. So the bar is generated, okay, and here we have the slow moving and fast moving average. The fast moving average is above the slow moving average, so long signal is generated for BTC/USD, and the order is created, an order is sent, and here is the order, and account payment is coming in. So currently is minus $3.24.
I mean, why would there be a loss if our strategy is correct?
See, like my account already has been in loss. Like previously I have done some trades, right? If I reset my account, okay, then it would be that thing.
Okay.
Like last I have exited the account, right? Like previously, like before this running the latest.
Yes, we did one momentum
latest
trade.
session. Yeah. Before this, like I have exited previous thing. Like I have showed you, like it has generated again. So I have exited that. Because of that, like there's a position created at the broker for Bitcoin. So I have closed it manually there because I have interrupted here, and that just closed automatically that side. So yeah, due to that, like that negative PNL is created. Again, like the PNL will be updated every time like new bar is generated. So here you can see it's going on. Strategy is still running.
So this is cumulative PNL and not for this trade or for this security.
Yeah, not for the security. You can like do for the security also. Like you can keep track of that whatever price you have bought. Like in this function, okay, you can keep something here. Like I have bought this at this price. So you can keep track of that, and whatever the latest market price is, you can update with that. You can get the latest market price using something this way, this thing. So that way you can print, but it will be too much printing. So like I thought, let me like avoid that. I haven't interrupted it. Okay, the strategy is closed now. Okay, so this was what I was talking, and finally we come to logs. So just now, like you got a glimpse why log is important. Something happened and I didn't know. Then I would go to this error logs. If some like exceptions happen, this is like too much of code. Like I wouldn't know if something goes wrong. I'll go to error log is empty now because no errors are there. But that time there was some issues with the WebSocket, like WebSocket was not streaming the data. So that's what like the thing was not generated. But yeah, obviously after some point of time, it will start streaming. So that happens with like paper account sometime. So that's why like the log is important. You want to know at every point of time what is going on. So you can like go as depth you want, like the details, whatever details you need, you can print those things. Like now it's on terminal, but when we'll deploy it tomorrow, we'll deploy it to a cloud service. There, whatever the things are printed, it will be like you can save that as a log, and you can review that log. If something goes wrong, you can review that log, and you can see that what are the things that went like and it will be timestamp. Okay, so you can see like at this timestamp, you can track back the errors and whatever things went wrong. So that's why that logging is very important. Okay, so I think we're done with this session, and we'll go for the Q&A. Okay, so any questions?
Do we have a task today?
Yeah, definitely we have task.
Okay.
Every day we have a task. Don't worry, it's related to yesterday's thing. So if you have done the yesterday's task, today's task is just the live implementation of whatever you have done yesterday.
I was actually asked, some of my doubts are actually close to solving yesterday's assignment.
Yeah, sure. You can ask. Definitely, you can ask.
I mean, I just wanted to know how we get in the benchmark bar price. So you just answered that.
Okay, benchmark is just what you do. I'll tell you about that. Just whatever benchmark. If you went to the Indian market, like you have selected the asset from the Indian, obviously, like I have told you to go for US Alpaca API, so you don't come for in the Indian market. You would go something in the US equities. So take the benchmark as SPY. So that ETF, take the price of that. So if you are backtesting from something like 2011 to 2020, take the SPY price from 2011 to 2020 and print your plot your your backtest cumulative return and the cumulative return of SPY from in that period. So that is the benchmark. So you have to see. And also compare when you're comparing both of those. Take this when you're taking the Sharpe ratio of suppose your backtest, then you'll also take the Sharpe ratio of SPY. So you're comparing both. So that's it. That's the benchmark.
I mean, my doubt was more about where do we write that code? So when you say we have all these parameters for the individual security, so side by side we just write the same code in the next line, or just put a comma and then put it for the benchmark.
You mean while plotting?
Yes, while plotting.
That's upon you how to do. Like if you're using matplotlib, then you want to plot it in the same plot. Like like usually like benchmark is our plots plotted in the same
usually
plot.
the same plot.
Yeah, same plot. Let me show you the thing. Like there is the thing called PyFolio. Okay. So it's a library, PyFolio, GitHub. For doing this kind of analysis, okay, backtest analysis. You see this thing, right? The green thing is backtest and the gray thing is SPY. So this is how it's compared against
so
the
how do we get this? I mean, which line of code gets you to chart both the securities side by side?
If you like plot both of this, if you are using pandas data frame, okay, then you just like put only these two thing in these two return streams into a data frame and plot the whole data frame, you will get this thing. If you want to do separately, like create a figure and plot both of these into the same figure in matplotlib. You'll find about, you can search Google search about that thing and you can find out about how to do that. It's very like easy. It's not difficult. Okay, so you got that about benchmark, right? Okay. So any other questions?
And the transaction cost, we just add it to the price. We add the transaction cost to the total cost of acquisition.
Add transaction cost to like it's upon you. How do you add? Like you can add you can get as accurate as you want. Like you can add for each trade. Like whenever each trade happens, you can add that. Like if you can figure out a way to do that, or you can like calculate the total transaction cost and minus it at the end and like show whatever the return you have that way. Whatever you want. Like the prior way is like more accurate, of course, and more preferable.
Okay.
Like either you can take it is like very difficult to implement dynamic transaction cost, I know. So like you can take fixed transaction cost for every transaction and deduct that for
maybe
like every trade.
Towards the end is better, just an algebraic equation. I mean, you talked about dynamic and static. That's a very important point you made. Can you just elaborate on it? So when you say static, you mean static the variable value is fixed? Variable value is fixed?
See, that means you are taking some fixed transaction cost. Like you're saying that, okay, something 50 cents for like taker fees, 25 cents for broker commission, and 25 cents for suppose slippage. And that is, you're saying this is $1 per transaction. So $1 per transaction is the transaction cost. So if you buy, you deduct $1 from that price, and you take whatever price is remaining, you take that price as the price you got. And when you sell, you like deduct again from that $1. Like you will get a slippage that way. So that's what fixed transaction cost model. Dynamic is very difficult, because like you need to model how like slippage would work. Modeling the slippage is a different thing. Like it's also very difficult. So you need to know if like whatever the current market liquidity is, depending on that, what would be like slippage and all. You try to model that, you try to make some estimation on that. So yeah,
you need to continuously calibrate them. Keeps changing.
Yeah, the things keeps changing. It's not fixed. Whatever I said, like $25, 50, 25 cents and 50 cents. Those things are not fixed. Like now the total transaction cost is $1. Maybe sometime later it might be 50 cents, and sometime later it might be $1.25. So yeah, it keeps changing.
Okay, got it.
Again, the more accurate backtest you want, more you will use that type of model then. So yeah. Any other questions? If not, then we'll move to task for day 3. Okay, I'll go for the task. So it's about implementing the time series momentum. So whatever like the time series momentum strategy that was part of yesterday's task you have created, I want you to create a live version. So whatever I've shown today, I want you to create a live version of that. You can reuse the code that is provided in the GitHub, whatever I've shown today. So you can reuse that. And of course, like if you have any doubts and all, like you can ask in the coming Q&A sessions, or maybe like in the Discord, you can ping me and ask if you have any doubt. Use Alpaca paper trading API for live market feeds. I've shown you how to get live market feeds. Then send orders to the paper trading account, very crucial. Then extra points, again, we also have extra points for this. You can try to implement the cross-sectional momentum strategy. So that they have discussed something called the cross-sectional momentum strategy. You can search about this. I have also added some paper, like a single paper is there, cross-sectional momentum, I guess. Like also you can do some research about it yourself. It's like whatever I've said, you put you have a positive some stocks with positive momentum, some stocks with negative momentum. You make 2 baskets, of one basket of positive, one basket of negative momentum. You long the positive momentum basket, you short the negative momentum baskets. So it involves multi-assets. So this is a multi-asset strategy. And then I provided a link, so you can go to this link and check some of the algorithms, live algorithms that are implemented in this. So you can go to this link and check some articles regarding, like you'll find many algorithms here, like that uses the same API. So you might also find this also. So yeah, keep an eye out. You might also find some implementation similar to momentum. Also there is pairs trading and others. And the final point is that I want you to create a private GitHub repo. So how many of you here don't know how to use GitHub?
I can raise my hand for that. I mean, I created an account, but I was just not able to tag you or copy your.
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, whatever is here I have mentioned, I'll show you real quick. So. Okay. So whatever is that, like go to, like whenever you open a GitHub account, okay, then you can go to here, like here will be something called new. I'm not saying to use the CLI now, because CLI may be a bit complex for you. Go here and name your strategy. I'm giving it a test. Okay, test repo. So, and make sure to select private because it's your code, and since I'm evaluating that code, so I want it to be private. Make it private. Okay, then click on create repository. By now you will have your files, whatever coding files you have in a directory. Go to here, click import code. Okay, sorry, not import code. Upload existing files. Okay, upload existing files here. Okay, so
that creates a replica of whatever structure we have in our GitHub.
Not that, but I just want you to create this repository just for the algorithm, that live algorithm. Okay, because in this task I'm asking you for the link to your repository. Now you can go here and choose your file. I'll show it real quick how to do that. Let me share the full screen so that enter screen. I'm sharing my enter screen. Okay. So click here and I'll select all of this. Okay, whatever files I have, and I click open. And files are uploaded. Okay. Commit changes. This is not the best way, but okay, 2 files are here. This is not the best way, but yeah, like it's easier than to use the CLI, but easier means CLI, I don't want you to go like venture into CLI, because if you don't know GitHub and I'll teach you CLI, that's not part of this workshop CLI thing. So also you can upload other files this way. So you can go to here again and go to upload files and like select this thing.
The files on Colab are different, right?
The Colab thing, yeah, Colab thing
Yes.
is Jupyter Notebooks.
Okay.
So what I want you just include the Python files. Okay, just include the Python files. Do not include like your config file in this repository. Just include the Python file. Again, the one more important thing is that you go to settings. Whenever you create the repository, go to settings so that I can see this. Go to collaborators. Okay. Okay. The files are uploaded. Okay. Fine. Go to collaborators. Okay. And then the password. Go to collaborators and click add people. Then I have given my GitHub ID here. So it's this GitHub ID. So select this. Oh, not this. I wouldn't be able to see that because I'm using my account right now. You'll see that account here. Click on that and select a diver for a collaborator. So click that and I'll be added to that repository. So only you and I can see that repository then.
I mean, my repository can be, a Google-based account also. That's fine, right? Not the student email ID.
Yeah.
GitHub.
Yeah, whatever. Like, make sure just to add me to that so that I can evaluate that, because in the form I'm asking you for a link to your GitHub repository. So
right.
Yeah. So last date for submission is 10th of May. So yeah, good luck with that. So if you don't have questions, then I'm wrapping up the sessions. Any questions?
Tomorrow's session, what time?
Same time at 9. Like tomorrow is also starting from 9. Actually, today's session, like the first part was supposed to be given by Rahul, but due to some issues, Rahul is not like able to join us, like due to some time zone issues. So like his timing is PST and like he's unable to join us.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Bye bye and good night.
Thank you. Bye.